Today, fewer than 20% of our nation's 12th graders are proficient in math, and our students rank in the bottom of both science and math among the industrialized nations of the world. This is a topic that former Secretary of Education, Rod Page, explores more extensively in his book, The War Against Hope. So why is America so behind in the global race for education? In part, students are to blame. But are teachers? In a 2-page document, a research team from Ohio State University, in union with the Ohio Education Research Center, investigated a major shift from private to community schools in recent years. The paper stated that as community schools grow, the number of licensed teachers exceeds the jobs needed, which has caused a backup of unemployed and licensed teachers. In 2011 through 2012, nearly 1.7 million students were educated in the Ohio community school systems. However, since 1995, that number has declined annually by 1,500 children. This study clearly shows the larger picture, that teachers are shifting more so to community schools than prior. And it goes on later to point out the higher pay that community school teachers receive as opposed to private school teachers. In 2007-2008, the average annual base salary for a regular full-time public school teacher was around $49,600, and the average base salary for a regular full-time private school teacher was around $36,300. Seeing such incentives would turn a head or two, and rightfully so. However, when the objective is money, quality can be lost.
I think that they are not really giving the students what they're paying for, or what they're spending their time on, and they're not really caring about whether the students learn it or not. It's more or less just getting through the material and saying they got it done so that they keep their job.
So teachers are in part to blame for a decrease in education.
I believe so. I believe students learn what the teachers provide, and if there's a demand or a bar that's set very high, then students will rise to meet that bar. But if the bar is set low, then students aren't going to strive to do more than they're required to.
This is Barry Tolbert, a previous college professor and administrator for the University of Phoenix.
What you will typically note is that the student with the enthusiastic teacher will generally be more excited about learning, more willing to learn.
I would say that most teachers are not likely to do that, because many of the teachers I've had experience with are passionate enough about their subjects to where they're not going to go to a higher paying subject just because maybe it pays more, or they'll be more successful in the long run with it, like because they're more successful. But I do think that there are certain teachers that would do that because of any condition, anything that's going on in their family, like maybe they need to support more or something. So, and you get teachers that are kind of like that don't care about the job really and just want to do it for the money, and that's unfortunate. So yes, I do say that you get that in some teaching circumstances, but I believe in the right place and in the right schools you won't get teachers who do that, because any reasonable hiree should know, or any person that hires people should know when they're seeing a teacher that's like that, because then that teacher hopefully would not be getting the job.
But what about behavioral issues? Many teachers contest that misbehaving students hinder the learning of their peers.
If teachers understand the type of cultural capital that the children bring to the school and to that particular classroom, then that teacher can plan activities and lessons that will help the children further understand a particular subject area or theory, etc., that is being taught. Because that teacher will be using the background of that child and what that child is most familiar with, what that child is most familiar.
Mrs. Ruckers brings up a good point. Teachers have to adjust to the students. But how?
Children see teachers in the neighborhood, then they feel more comfortable following that teacher's request, fulfilling what the teacher has prepared for them, because they feel that teacher is like them. Oh, this teacher, again, shops at Dave's. Oh, I saw my teacher buying some bacon. I didn't know my teacher ate bacon. Or I saw my teacher buying Snapple just like my mom buys. And then they might see the teacher at the gas station. Oh, my teacher uses Shell rather than Sunoco or Exxon. They identify with that because that's what their parents use. So when the teacher develops a lesson plan, maybe it does have to deal with gas. The teacher might say, what is the cost of gas at the local Sunoco? What is the cost of gas at the Shell? And they know, the teacher knows that these two gas stations are within their neighborhood. And then, for very young children, the teacher might say, let's, subtract which one costs the most or which one costs the least. Then you're dealing with the concept of measurement. But the teacher is using those things of which the children are familiar.